Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about the vulnerabilities in Tesla's Model 3 keyless entry system discussed in the paper titled Access Your Tesla Without Your Awareness. This research was presented at the Network and Distributed Systems Security Symposium held in 2023. The researchers identified critical flaws in the system, enabling attackers to unlock and start the vehicle without physical access. So let's begin by understanding the key component of Tesla's keyless entry system. PKES stands for Passive Keyless Entry and Start, and these systems allow drivers to enter and start their cars without manually using a key. Traditional PKES requires a key fob to provide the legitimacy and the vehicle to verify it. Nowadays, as we all know, new car models are continuously trying to enrich the driving experiences by enabling car owners to use their smartphones to unlock and activate their cars automatically. So regarding this, Tesla uses three key systems to unlock its cars. We have the key fob, and then there's the key card, which is a small card you tap on the car door to unlock it. And then there's the phone key, which connects to the car using Bluetooth, and whenever you're near the car, it automatically unlocks. So while all these options offer convenience, they definitely come with risks. Researchers found that hackers can trick the car into thinking they have a legitimate key even when they don't. The paper doesn't analyze key fobs though, it mainly focuses on the key card and the phone key systems, and we'll talk about the vulnerabilities and how to mitigate those vulnerabilities. But before we talk about the vulnerabilities, let's understand first how Tesla's keycard works. This figure shows the pairing and authentication process between a Tesla Model 3 and a keycard. Pairing is when you first set up the keycard, and authentication is when you use it to unlock the car. Step 1, the car and the keycard connect using RFID, which stands for radio frequency identification. It's the same technology used in contactless credit card, and it's how the car and the card start talking to each other. Step 2, the car reads the keycard for its unique identifier and public key. The public key is part of a cryptographic key pair used for secure communication. You can think of the public key like a digital fingerprint. It helps the car recognize the key card. But here's a problem. Tesla doesn't check if the key card is genuine in this step, making it easier for hackers to fake cards. In step 3, the car and the key card disconnect temporarily and then they reconnect in step 4. And in step 5, the car asks for the public key of a paired key card. Step 6, the key card sends its public key back to the car. It's like handing over your fingerprint for verification. Step 7 and step 10 involves doing the same thing on both sides. The car and the key card use their private and public keys to create a shared secret code using a key exchange protocol called elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. Think of this as a secret code or handshake only they both know. It's supposed to keep the communication secure, but it was found that hackers can actually intercept and copy that secret code. In step 8, the car creates a challenge, which is like a secret question to test the keycard. Only the real keycard should be able to answer it correctly. And in step 9, the car sends that challenge to the keycard. It's like asking the card, what's the secret handshake? And then in step 11, the keycard encrypts the challenge using the shared secret. This is like writing the answer to the secret question in code. And then the keycard sends that encrypted challenge back to the car in step 12. And then the car decrypts the challenge and checks if it matches the original. If it does, the keycard is verified. And the car can add this keycard to its whitelist. but here's the catch. Hackers can copy this process because, like we said, Tesla doesn't check if the keycard is real during pairing. So this process shows how Tesla's keycard system works and how it's somewhat vulnerable. Hackers can clone the keycards by copying the shared secret and bypassing verification. So we can break down the process in the figure we just discussed into two processes. Like we said, we have the pairing process, which is done once at the beginning to add a new card. And then we've got the authentication process, which is done afterwards every time we want to unlock the car using the card. We already talked about these steps, but let's go over them again real quick. Let's start with how Tesla pairs a new keycard. First, you tap your new keycard on the RFID located on the center console. This establishes a connection between the card and the car. And then the car retrieves two important pieces of information, like we said before, the public key and the unique identifier. And then both the car and the car uses a cryptographic method we said before called the elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, and this method allows them to generate a shared secret only they both know. It's derived from the car's private key and public key, like we said. And then the car sends an encrypted challenge using AES encryption with the shared secret as the key to verify the legitimacy of the card. The card decrypts this challenge, processes it, sends it back as an encrypted response for verification. If everything checks out, the car adds the public key to its whitelist, which is a list of authorized keys that can access and start the vehicle. Once your key card is paired, here's how authentication works every time you use it. You tap your paired keycard on either the driver's door spiller or center console RFID reader to initiate authentication. The card checks its whitelist to confirm that your card is authorized by retrieving its public key from storage. It then repeats the same challenge response steps we discussed in the pairing process, which involve sending an encrypted challenge using AES encryption with the shared secret generated during pairing as the key. Your card decrypts this challenge, processes it, and sends it back as an encrypted response for verification by the car. If everything matches, the car unlocks. So what could possibly be wrong with the protocol we just discussed? We actually mentioned one of them already, which involves the certificate verification during pairing. Tesla doesn't validate certificates, meaning attackers can create fake keycards that mimic legitimate ones. These cloned cards can be added to the car's whitelist, granting attackers permanent access to the car. The second vulnerability exploits RFID communication between keycards and the car. Using relay devices, attackers can capture signals from legitimate keycards and forward them to the car, even if the keycard is far away. This allows them to unlock and start the vehicles remotely. The third vulnerability lies in the elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman protocol used by Tesla's keycards. This protocol allows attackers to intercept public keys exchanged during pairing and derive a shared secret using their own private key. With this shared secret, they can create cloned cards that appear legitimate to the car. The researchers actually demonstrated this vulnerability with a proof of concept attack. They customized a Java card capable of generating cryptographic key pairs. They also created a custom Java applet that could extract cryptographic keys stored in the keycard using non-public application protocol data unit commands. These commands are typically restricted to authorized operations, and this enabled them to read sensitive cryptographic information directly from the card. Then, using an existing paired keycard, they added the customized Java card to the vehicle's whitelist of authorized keys during the pairing process. The card treated this card as a legitimate key because, as we said before, Tesla does not validate certificates during pairing. Once paired, the customized card could be used just like an official Tesla keycard to unlock and start the vehicle. So this attack highlights two critical vulnerabilities in Tesla's system. The lack of certificate validation during pairing allows unauthorized devices to be added as legitimate keys, and sensitive cryptographic information stored on cards can be extracted and reused, enabling attackers to clone or duplicate keycards for persistent access. Now, moving on to the other keyless system Tesla uses, which is the phone key. You can think of pairing your phone to a Tesla car like setting up a secure handshake between the two devices. You start by tapping the start button in the Tesla app. The app then scans for your car's unique Bluetooth signal, which starts with an S and includes a special code derived from your car's vehicle identification number. This ensures your phone connects to the right car. Once connected, your phone and car exchange public keys. Like we said, think of this as digital. We can think of this as like fingerprints or digital identifications that are unique and allows them to recognize each other. This step is similar to what was done in the keycard protocol. Using these public keys, both devices generate a shared secret only they both know, and this is done using the cryptographic method called elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. And finally, the car adds your phone's public key to its whitelist. This completes the pairing process, and your phone is now a trusted key for the car. Once your phone is paired, here's what happens every time we approach the car. The phone automatically reconnects to the car via Bluetooth, using the car's unique Bluetooth address to find it. And the car sends an encrypted challenge, let's call it message A, to the phone. This challenge is encrypted with the shared secret as the key using an encryption algorithm called AES-GCM. This is a bit different from what was happening in the keycard protocol. The phone decrypts the challenge, processes, and sends it back as an encrypted response. If the car verifies this response successfully, it generates a dynamic token. The phone then uses this token to process a second challenge. Let's call it message B. This challenge is also encrypted with AES-GCM, but this time the token is included as additional data because this would ensure that both parties are still in sync and that the communication between the car and the phone has not been tampered with. If both challenges are verified successfully, the car unlocks and you can drive the car. So we can ask the same question here again, which is what could possibly be wrong with the protocol? The first vulnerability is a man-in-the-middle attack on Bluetooth communication. The attacker uses two devices, one near the car and one near the phone, to relay Bluetooth messages over long distances. This tricks the car into thinking the phone is nearby, allowing the attacker to unlock and start the vehicle without the owner's knowledge. The second vulnerability involves replaying authentication tokens used by PhoneKey. These tokens are encrypted but remain valid for hours after they're issued. So, an attacker can intercept these tokens during a legitimate session and reuse them later to unlock or start the car, even if the phone is far away. The third vulnerability is related to Tesla's use of static Bluetooth MAC address, which is the unique identifier for the car's Bluetooth signal. Since this address doesn't change, attackers can mimic it to trick the phone key into initiating communication, paving the way for further attacks like the one we just mentioned, such as token replay attack or a man-in-the-middle attack. The researchers carried out another proof of concept attack. This attack, the goal was to unlock and start Tesla Model 3 without the owner's awareness, and this attack improves upon traditional relay attacks by addressing their key limitation, which is latency detection. Instead of forwarding each message in real time, the attacker records multiple messages during a single connection and forwards them in batches, avoiding latency issues that could alert the system. The attack is divided into three phases. The setup phase, where the attacker spoofs the car's Bluetooth MAC address to impersonate it. The preparation phase, where the attacker captures authentication messages between the phone key and the car. And the attack phase, where these captured messages are used to unlock and start the car. The first phase of the attack involves mimicking the car's Bluetooth signal through BLE MAC spoofing. We have two attack devices. Attack device A scans for nearby Bluetooth signals to identify the car's static BLE MAC address, name, and authentication level from its advertisements. Once identified, attack device B changes its own MAC address to match the car's MAC address and begins broadcasting identical BLE advertisement, tricking the phone key into thinking it's communicating with the actual car. In the second phase, attackers capture authentication messages, which are also called attestations, between the phone key and the car. Device B connects to the phone key using its spoofed MAC address and receives an encrypted challenge. This challenge is forwarded to device A, which sends it to the car for verification. If verified successfully, the car responds with a dynamic token. The token is forwarded back to device B, which uses it to request additional attestations from the phone key, allowing attackers to collect multiple attestations pairs for future use. The final phase of the attack involves using the captured attestations to unlock and start the car. Device A sends a previously captured attestation pair, including the token, to unlock the car door successfully. Additional attestations from stored pairs are used to start and drive away with the vehicle. The key vulnerability here is that tokens remain valid for hours, like we said, giving attackers a long window of opportunity for repeated unauthorized access. To execute this attack, researchers used several tools and techniques. They customized Android firmware on a Google Pixel 5a device to disable BLE MAC address rotation, which is a feature that normally prevents static spoofing by changing addresses every 15 minutes. They developed a malicious app called Tesla, the same app we mentioned earlier, which simulates both phone key and vehicle behavior. This app automates message parsing, encryption, decryption, and response generation. Off-the-shelf devices like Google Pixel 5a and Samsung Galaxy S9 were used as attack devices, demonstrating that this attack is feasible with widely available consumer hardware. The researchers tested this attack under real conditions and it has successful results. The attack worked on both Android 11 and iOS 15, demonstrating cross platform vulnerability. Using two devices, they completed the attack in about 15 seconds. However, using a single device increased the latency due to back and forth communication delays, extending this attack time up to about 46 seconds. While there's no distance limitation between attacker devices connected via the internet, proximity between attacker devices and victim devices was still limited by the Bluetooth range, which is about 100 meters in ideal conditions. As we can see, the impact of this attack is severe. Attackers can gain unauthorized access to Tesla vehicles, unlocking doors and driving away without the owner's awareness. The attack is stealthy, it operates entirely in the background without triggering any notifications on either the Tesla app or vehicle screen. The long validity period of tokens allow attackers to reuse captured attestation multiple times within a single session. The paper provides some countermeasures that can be used to mitigate those vulnerabilities. The first is to use the pin to drive functionality. This multi-factor authentication feature requires drivers to enter a PIN before starting the car and hence prevent unauthorized driving. However, it doesn't block entry, which means someone can still break into the car, they just can't drive with it. While this feature adds an extra layer of security, it's not enabled by default, and it undermines the seamless experience that the passive keyless entry system is designed to provide, as owners must manually enter a code each time they want to drive. The second countermeasure involves the frequent token refresh. We mentioned earlier how tokens currently remain valid for hours, allowing attackers to reuse them for repeated access. By refreshing tokens after every Bluetooth reconnection, Tesla can reduce the attack window, and this will force attackers to use more complex setups with multiple devices. For example, if a token expires after a single use, attackers would need to capture new attestations for each attempt, significantly increasing the effort required to carry out an attack. Another countermeasure is to enable BLE link layer encryption. The Bluetooth standard supports secure communication using session keys derived during pairing. Enabling this encryption would make spoofing and message interception harder. The link layer encryption ensures that all data transmitted between devices is encrypted, preventing attackers from easily intercepting or manipulating messages. However, it's important to note that even encrypted communication can be vulnerable to sophisticated attacks if not implemented correctly. The fourth countermeasure involves using time-of-flight technology, which measures the physical distance between devices to prevent relay attack. Also, ultra-wideband technology already integrated into devices like Apple and Samsung phones can be incorporated into Tesla's passive keyless entry system for enhanced security. Time of flight measures the time it takes for a signal to travel between two devices, ensuring that the devices are within a certain proximity. and the ultra-wideband offers higher accuracy and resistance to interference compared to Bluetooth, making it a promising solution for secure ranging. However, propagation times must be encrypted to prevent spoofing attacks that could manipulate measured distances. In conclusion, we saw how Tesla's keyless entry system prioritizes convenience over security, leaving car owners vulnerable to attacks. We talked about two of the keyless entry system uses keycard and phone keys. We explained how they work in details and the vulnerabilities in each one of them. We gave an example and how the attack workflow was done on the Tesla Model 3 and proposed some countermeasures that can be done in the future to mitigate those vulnerabilities. Overall, we can say that this isn't just a Tesla problem and that the entire automotive industry needs to rethink how it secures its keyless entry system. Thank you all for your time and let me know in the ed discussion if you have any questions. Goodbye and have a great day.